A very warm welcome to our today's webinar. My name is Matthias Beetz. I'm the head of the Baumüller Academy, and I will be moderating the webinar. Your speaker is Mark McGowan, Sales Manager at Baumüller Nürmont Corporation. Mark will hold the webinar and also answer your questions afterwards. Before we get started with our webinar, I would just like to point out that you will be muted during the webinar. However, you can still ask us questions during the webinar using the question field. The questions asked will then be answered at the end of the webinar in a question and answer session. We have planned around 10 minutes for this. I would like to point out that the webinar will be recorded. A few words about Baumüller. Baumüller is a globally positioned family-owned company with more than 2,000 employees. The company headquarters is located in Germany, in Nuremberg. With more than 93 years of experience in its core business of drive and automation systems, Baumüller is one of the top 10 suppliers in drive and automation technology. The systems are used in many industries worldwide. And now, I will hand over to our speaker, to Mark, and I wish you an interesting webinar.
Well, thank you, Matthias, for the brief introduction, and good morning and welcome to our webinar today. We would like to give you a brief overview of our drive solutions in the field of forming technology and sheet metal processing, and we'll briefly present our system scope for the following applications: the servo-eccentric press, the servo-hydraulic press, the servo screw press, the servo brake press. Of course, we'll be happy to answer any questions you have after our presentation. However, I would like to take this opportunity to invite you to our booth at EuroBLECH 24, that is in Hanover, Germany, at the end of October. We can discuss your application questions in person at that time. I would like to start by introducing our drive systems for the servo-eccentric presses. Servo-eccentric presses are now an integral part of metal forming technology. They offer the users advantage of the high productivity of conventional flywheel presses and the flexibility of hydraulic presses. The main feature of the servo-eccentric press is the DST2 permanent magnet high torque motor that can generate the torque required. This, combined with the appropriate drive and control technology, allows the press to achieve the required process flexibility and dynamic control. Our DST2 high torque motors are available in many sizes up to 60 kilonewton meters peak torque. Smaller presses may only need one motor, while larger presses may use several motors synchronized. Our power modules for the BMAX 5500 series of servo converters supply the motors with the necessary power. In high power applications, it is possible to use several modular servo drives synchronized to a single motor. The use of active front ends, the BMAX 5100, enables us to achieve flexible energy management options with functions such as power regeneration or peak load reduction using DC link capacitors as energy storage devices. Our extensive software package for servo-eccentric presses and the associated control technology hardware offer the complete overall solution. In this slide, you can see here's a configuration example of a press drive system. Our system is very scalable. The components I just described in the previous slide can be easily combined to create a much larger system. This 3,000-ton press requires a lot of power. In this case, there are 3 DST2 high torque motors being used. Each motor has 4 windings that are controlled by 4 power modules that are synchronized together. 2 of the drives are operating in a shared DC link. Each DC link is connected to an active front end. The DC link capacitors are being used to reduce peak loads by storing and reusing regenerated energy. Our DST2 high torque motors have been used extensively in a wide range of applications and industries. These motors have very high peak torques and very low inertia. This combination makes them particularly well suited for the dynamic properties of servo-eccentric presses. We offer 200 different torque motors distributed across 6 sizes to ensure you always get the right motor for your application. If the process requires extremely high pressing forces and/or very high strokes, hydraulic still may be the best solution for a press. However, conventional hydraulic presses operating with standard motors may have poor energy efficiency. With the Baumüller drive solution, consisting of highly dynamic servo motors and compact converters, you benefit from both the advantages of hydraulics and the efficiency of servo drive technology. The servo pump drive software is a user-friendly configurable system that provides a flexible solution for pressure and volume control of your hydraulic press. We support you with engineering by sizing the motors and the drives, and if required, with installation and commissioning worldwide. Our DSD2 servo motor series have very low inertia and will provide the necessary dynamics for precise pressure control during the forming process. Thanks to the various shaft and flange options, the hydraulic pumps can be attached directly to our servo motors. By eliminating the couplings, the pump supports, the overall length, noise emissions, and installation times are reduced. Baumüller servo drives can be equipped with integral pressure controls for pumps with constant displacement volume. This function is available in our series BMAX 4000, 5000, and 6000 series drives. Only 2 set points, that's pressure and volume, are required and can be sent via analog or over the field bus. The actual pressure feedback from a pressure transducer is read directly by the drive's analog input and makes this system very responsive. The servo pump software interacts directly with the drive CPU at 125 microsecond cycle time. This results in very precise pressure control that reduces pressure overshoots and can control the pump pulsations to values typically less than 1 bar. Our system can operate 2 or 4 quadrant pumps. It is therefore also possible to reverse the direction of the flow. The servo pump software uses a pressure model that is highly intelligent. It is equipped with several detection and protection features that will initiate a controlled shutdown in the event of an unfavorable condition. This increases the reliability of your machine and protects your investment. Servo hydraulic presses typically require high flow volumes. To provide this very demanding high performance requirement, it is common to have a master and slave configuration as shown here. In this example, the set values provided by the machine control are read in and processed over the field bus by the master drive. The control and integration of additional slave drives is carried out by our drives internally without the need for an additional controller. The standard pump configuration connects the pumps and the motors via a shaft coupling. In addition to the standard pump attachment, Baumüller offers 2 other direct attachment solutions. That is our advanced line and our performance line. For the advanced line, Bosch, Voith, and Eckerl internal gear pumps use a grease lubricated direct attachment. In collaboration with Bucher Hydraulics, we developed a performance line. In this solution, the leakage oil flows of the pump is used to lubricate the spline shaft connection and is fed back into the hydraulic oil tank via the motor bearing plate. This makes the connection free of maintenance. The different pump attachment solutions are available in the DSD2, DSC1, and DS2 motor series and can be used together with the pre-assembled pump sizes. Now we come to screw presses. The range of press forces and therefore also press sizes is enormous for servo screw presses. They range from presses with pressing forces of less than 1 ton to presses with 1,000 tons or more. Thanks to the wide range of motors and drives, Baumüller can offer the right system size for every system. Our highly dynamic servo motors of the DSD2 are ideal for smaller presses, even in combination with gear reduction. Our DST2 high torque motors have been proven themselves for large screw presses, as shown here on this slide. The possibility of a highly synchronous coupling of the drives is an important point, especially for presses with several spindles and therefore several motors. Similar to presses, different drive systems have been used for press brakes for several years. Here too, concepts differ mainly in terms of productivity, pressing forces, and energy efficiency. With either a fully electric or a servo-hydraulic main drive, you benefit from Baumüller's years of experience as a drive and automation manufacturer and equipping machines. In a servo-hydraulic press brake solution, a fixed displacement servo pump is used in combination with the servo motor. The servo controller has a built-in servo-hydraulic software and is used to control the servo motor and hydraulic pump. The Baumüller drive system with a fully electric main axis is made up of servo motors and servo drives. It has the main advantage as compared to conventional hydraulic solution with these features: higher energy efficiency, higher productivity. It's environmentally friendly with the elimination of oil. It has lower noise. It has lower maintenance cost and has higher precision. Whichever solution you choose, Baumüller engineers have the expertise to design the entire system, including motor, servo drives, and if necessary, the pump configuration. Okay, next we talk about the BMAX 5000. On this slide, I would like to give you a brief overview of our BMAX 5500 servo drive series. The BMAX 5500 is our all-rounder and can cover a power range of 1.1 to 315 kilowatts across 7 different frame sizes. Rectifiers, integral capacitors, and inverters are all in one. Higher safety functions such as SLS, that is safe limited speed, or SLP, safe limited position, can also be implemented using plug-in safety modules. Our BMAX 5500 has more to offer than just motor control. Drive intelligence is a key feature built into every drive and is scalable to meet your needs. With the BMAX soft drive PLC, it makes separate control hardware unnecessary for certain applications. By combining motion control and PLC functions in the controller, Baumüller creates a decentralized control architecture for programming in accordance with IEC 61131 and makes the construction of distributed intelligence in the machine extremely easy and cost-effective. Creating control tasks ranging from simple calculations of digital inputs to highly complex control algorithms can be implemented using our free ProDrive parameterization tool. As a manufacturer of electrical drive and automation system, and as a service provider in the area of retrofitting spare parts, repairs, and relocation, we accompany our customers throughout the entire life cycle of their machine and systems, from project planning to after-sales service. A dense network of branch and partner companies enables service technicians to be deployed around the globe at a short notice. Your machines and systems are carefully inspected and maintained using the most modern testing and measuring equipment. Our mobile services team carry out repairs and on-site whenever technically possible in order to minimize downtime. This brings us to the end of the presentation, and we would like to thank you for your attention. I would now like to hand it back to Matthias to accept questions. Your questions will be answered from our experts, Mark Hermans and Philip Gebhardt. Mark is the branch manager for the forming technology, and Philip is responsible for the servo hydraulics in the applications department.
Yeah, Mark, thank you so much for your very interesting presentation. Yeah, let's move on to answering the questions. We have got a lot of questions, and I will start with the first question. The question is it possible to use double pumps in direct mounting solutions?
I would answer this question because it's a hydraulic question. Yes, it is possible, but our spline connection of the direct mounting solution has a maximum torque limit that needs to be fulfilled. So in this case, a detailed inspection from our side is necessary because the double pump, of course, has a higher torque than a single pump.
Yes, the next question is, I saw on your homepage that you also have solutions for retrofitting eccentric presses. Could you explain this briefly?
Yeah, sure. I would take over this question. For retrofitting eccentric presses means means retrofitting of flywheel presses. It means how does it work? We would remove the existing drive system. It means the flywheel, the old motor, and so on, and we would mount a new servo drive system on the existing mechanics. Of course, it's very important in advance that some experts, some mechanical experts, check in advance the condition of the machine. It means the condition of the gearbox and so on, and then sure, it's no problem to make also a retrofit flywheel press to servo-eccentric press.
Yeah, the next question is, if you operate a motor with several modular servo drives, how are the drives synchronized?
I would also answer this question. The synchronization of multi-winding motors, it means we drive one motor with more than one drive. It works, there are two different ways to handle that. The first one is via the field bus. It means a very fast communication via feed bus. We at Baumüller PLC, we have our own EtherCAT master, and we developed an EtherCAT master, so-called cross communication, and that allows the EtherCAT slaves. It means the drives of the motor. It allows the EtherCAT slaves to communicate very fast between each other without every time communication to the EtherCAT master. And the second one, the second option to synchronize well is via analog cable. There are special cables and also special modules to do that on our drive analog.
Now we have a question to the hydraulic solution. At the hydraulic solution, is the pump included directly in the scope of delivery from Baumüller?
We support you by choosing the pump and sizing the CC of the pump, but we are not, or the pumps are not in scope of our delivery. So the pumps must be purchased directly by the pump manufacturers, and also the pumps must be installed from the customer. So we are only supported during the engineering.
Okay, and now we have a question to the commissioning. Is the commissioning carried out by Baumüller or by the customers themselves?
The commissioning, so both is possible for sure, that Baumüller supports you at the commissioning, or you do it by your own. Normally it makes sense, especially for the first machines, for the prototypes, it makes sense that our engineers support you for the commissioning, especially for huge drive systems, like for example for eccentric presses, if also the software solution is from us. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Now we have a question to retrofits. Do you also retrofit transfer presses with a servo motor? If so, how is the production process optimized to gain the advantages of the high invest?
So first of all, of course, the retrofitting transfer so presses is, let's say, same procedure as for the eccentric press. Of course, it depends if it's an transfer hydraulic or transfer eccentric, but of course it's possible. Of course the main advantage is the change of the main drive system is the better energy efficiency. What does that mean really? Of course, in with a point of view of stroke rate and so on, we have to calculate via at the sizing process. But the main benefit here will be also for the eccentric press, the higher flexibility than before, and for the hydraulic suppress, the higher energy efficiency than before.
Okay, thank you. The next question is, what is the advantage of hydroservo while you can reach these torques with a normal reducer?
Can you repeat the question maybe one time again, Matthias?
Yes.
Please?
What is the advantage of hydroservo while you can reach these torques with a normal reducer? What is the advantage of hydroservo?
There's the pressure reducers mean so a valve which is reducing the pressure here in this case. So in this case, the big benefit of a servo-hydraulic solution is that the pump is directly delivering the pressure and flow which is needed, and you can prevent or reduce the losses which are caused by the valve. So that's a big benefit, and this is where the energy saving is coming from.
Okay, thank you. And another question is regarding the servo eccentric presses. Is there any experience on the clutch hydraulic actuator?
The clutch hydraulic actuator, I have to say, I've seen several servo eccentric presses, but that's this maybe it's the other name than in German, but I don't know the clutch hydraulic actuator for servo eccentric press. For eccentric press, sure, but I think for servo eccentric press, we wants to eliminate the clutch. So if we remove, or if we have a servo eccentric press, there's no clutch anymore needed.
Okay, please feel free to ask us the questions. I'm waiting a little bit because this was the last question. Yeah. So I think we are at the end of the question session. So I will give you some additional information. Yeah, if you have any further questions after this webinar, please feel free to contact us. You can contact our colleague in the US, Mark McGovern. You can see here the contact address, the mail address, or you can contact our colleague here in Germany, also the name Mark, but with C at the end, Mark Hermans, and you can contact him also. Please feel free after the webinar to ask them your questions you have. Yeah, you can find more interesting information about our webinar on the following links. Maybe if you want, you can take a photo from these links. We have interesting information at our homepage. We offer some information about our solutions, the drive solutions, technology solutions, and of course, references in the metalworking. And also, we have at the end of October, we have an exhibition here in Hanover, in Germany. It's between 22nd and 25th October this year. Yeah, this brings us to the end of the webinar. Thank you very much for your participation and attention. Yeah, we say goodbye from Nuremberg, and I think also from US, and stay healthy, and maybe see you on the booth or by the next webinar. Have a good time,
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
and bye-bye.
See you.
Thank you.